Take a listen here to something that Ritchie Blackmore said about Jimi Hendrix in an interview. And I want to talk a little bit specifically about a couple of things he says in these remarks and then ask your opinion. So let's listen right now to what Ritchie Blackmore had to say.
He had the music down, he had the composing down, he had the singing down, plus the showmanship. So nobody could compete with something like that. I don't think really anybody come up to what he could do, because he could do everything. His thing that I thought was very interesting. Most of the people I know that play the guitar very well are very subdued, and they refuse to get into showmanship. They think that is below them. But to Jimi, it was part of the whole thing of learning the guitar. I think with Jimi, he loved life, he loved to live, and it showed in his playing.
Okay, so the part that I really want to talk about in that statement is where he said Jimi loved life and it showed in his playing. And I'd like to connect that to Blackmore's observations about Jimi Hendrix's stage performances. So if we were to go back to the late 1960s when Jimi Hendrix was taking over the world, and we talked to some of the big British rock stars back then like Mick Jagger, or Keith Richards, or Roger Daltrey, or just about anybody from back then, including Jimmy Page or Robert Plant, they would tell you that one of the things that Hendrix did, in addition to blowing everyone's mind with his musicianship, was that he really blew the lid off of on-stage performances. And he did this through really simple elements. He took the sexuality that Elvis had injected into rock performances and pushed it to a peak. He also manhandled his guitar on stage and did acrobatics with it in ways that you can also see Ritchie Blackmore do, not only with Deep Purple, but also in his band Rainbow. And I think that if Hendrix had been doing these things with the idea of them being gimmicks and stage performance antics, then the result would have been completely different than if he's doing them out of the sheer joy of being a performer. And I think that's the key of what Ritchie Blackmore is saying in those comments. Now, we go back and listen to Jimi Hendrix's music. That joy for life is definitely present. But underneath all of it is a triumphant spirit and a spirit of discovery, which I have constantly said in my videos is an underlying element of all great musicians. Joy for music, joy for life, joy for the instrument, and joy for sharing music with others. I'd like to close this out by asking your opinion. Do you think that Jimi Hendrix's stage performances are crucial to his artistry? Do you think that Jimi Hendrix influenced culture through his stage performances and showmanship? And do you think that guitarists nowadays could take a cue from what he did and rather than just showing their technical proficiency, integrate their playing into a much larger performance-centered act? This is what I think, but what really matters is what you think. So if you have an idea about this or any other topic connected to classic or contemporary music, please drop it in the section below and remember to like and subscribe. Also check out the join button that's available now. If you choose to become a channel member, you'll gain access to members-only badges, polls, videos, and other cool perks you'll see when you click on the button. You can also help out the channel by clicking on the Buy Me a Coffee link, going to the Buy Me a Coffee site, and leaving a donation. Every little bit helps this channel stay strong. Thanks a lot.